Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will step into the world of The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold, published in 2002, is a poignant and haunting story narrated by Susie Salmon, a 14-year-old girl who recounts her life and death after being murdered in 1973. From her personal heaven, Susie watches her family struggle with grief while seeking justice and healing, and she reflects on the lives left behind and the enduring impact of love, loss, and memory. Plot summary. On a cold December evening in 1973, Susie Salmon, a bright and curious 14-year-old, takes a shortcut home through a cornfield. She is stopped by George Harvey, a neighbor known for his quiet demeanor and love of gardening. Under the guise of showing her a hideout he built for neighborhood children, he leads her into a small underground chamber he constructed in the field. There, he attacks and murders her, leaving her remains hidden and covering his tracks with precision. Susie's spirit, however, does not leave entirely. From her personal heaven, a realm shaped by her unfulfilled dreams and desires, she watches the aftermath of her death ripple through the lives of those she loves. Her family is shattered. Jack, her father, is consumed by a desperate need for answers, unable to let go of the belief that Harvey is responsible. Abigail, her mother, retreats inward, her grief isolating her from her family and driving her to make decisions that test the bonds of love and loyalty. Lindsay, Susie's younger sister, struggles to live in the shadow of her sister's death, while their youngest sibling, Buckley, grapples with a loss he cannot fully comprehend. The Salmons' once cohesive world begins to unravel. Jack's suspicions of Harvey grow as he notices peculiarities in the man's behavior. Despite Harvey's outwardly innocuous appearance, Jack's instincts scream otherwise. He confronts the police, led by Detective Len Fennerman, but they lack the evidence to pursue the case. Jack's obsession strains his marriage to Abigail, who, seeking an escape from her grief and his fixation, begins an affair with Fennerman. Her detachment grows, leaving Lindsay and Buckley to navigate their pain with minimal guidance. Lindsay, resilient and determined, channels her grief into action. While staying with family friends, she sneaks into Harvey's home, searching for proof of his guilt. She discovers disturbing evidence, a notebook detailing the construction of his underground chamber, but narrowly escapes detection. Though her findings remain circumstantial, they deepen her resolve and fuel Jack's suspicions. Meanwhile, Harvey grows increasingly paranoid, feeling the walls of his carefully guarded secret closing in. Susie's connection to the living remains strong, particularly with Ruth Connors, a classmate who had a fleeting, otherworldly encounter with Susie's spirit on the night of her death. Ruth, an introspective and sensitive soul, becomes obsessed with Susie's case and the broader questions of life and death. She befriends Ray Singh, Susie's first crush and the boy who had penned her a love note shortly before she died. Together, Ruth and Ray forge a bond rooted in their shared grief and the lingering presence of Susie. In her heaven, Susie longs to move beyond her death, but remains tethered by her family's struggles and her own unresolved desires. She observes Harvey as he continues his predatory ways, planning his next crime while evading suspicion. The weight of his crimes and her inability to act frustrate her, but she finds solace in small moments of influence, such as stirring her father's intuition or guiding Lindsay during her search. Time passes and the Salmons begin to heal in their own ways. Abigail's affair ends and she leaves the family, retreating to California to find herself. Jack suffers a heart attack but survives, his brush with death prompting Abigail's return. Their reunion is hesitant but signals the possibility of reconciliation. Lindsay grows into adulthood, finding love and starting her own family, while Buckley, now older, confronts the wounds left by his sister's absence. Years after Susie's death, Harvey is forced to leave the neighborhood, his secrets intact. He remains a shadow in Susie's heaven, a symbol of the injustice she cannot change. Yet, Susie's connection to the world endures. Ruth and Ray, still drawn to her, visit the site of her murder, where Ruth experiences a sudden and profound spiritual event. In that fleeting moment, Susie's spirit inhabits Ruth's body, allowing her to share a bittersweet and intimate reunion with Ray. It is a moment of closure for Susie, a brief fulfillment of the life she was denied. Harvey's freedom is not eternal. While traveling years later, he attempts to lure another victim, but is thwarted by the natural world, a falling icicle that ends his life in an unceremonious but fitting manner. Susie witnesses this from her heaven, not with triumph, but with quiet resolution. His death marks the end of her tether to Earth, allowing her to fully embrace her place in the afterlife. Back on Earth, the Salmon family finds peace. Jack and Abigail rebuild their relationship, Lindsay thrives with her family, and Buckley comes to terms with the loss of his sister. Susie's memory remains alive in the objects and moments she left behind, woven into the fabric of their lives. Her heaven expands, filled with the lives she loved and the possibilities she once imagined. As the years stretch on, Susie lets go of her lingering ties to the mortal world. She watches her family from afar, no longer bound by grief but touched by the enduring love that connects them. In her heaven, she finds contentment, knowing that while she is gone, she will never be forgotten. That's it for today, but if you're looking for more great reads, dive into other books by Alice Sebold. Details are in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Alice Sebold's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.